go to different SNAP eligible organizations and deliver programming there. So, like, we're mostly like in schools and daycare centers. Um, we can go to churches. We can go to retail, as long as like the retail stores receive like $50,000 a year in SNAP benefits. We can do churches so long as a majority, I think it's 50% or more of their parishioners are SNAP eligible. The same thing with community centers, so long as they're SNAP eligible. And the schools also have to be SNAP eligible. Most of the schools that I go to, actually all the schools that I go to, are complete 100% eligible because all of their kids receive free lunch. So on the free or reduced lunch program. A position opened up and I applied for it. Mostly because it was somewhat in my field. I went to school for community health, and so being a community worker at least kind of gets me into the doorstep of getting into the field of community health. I have to make sure that I have everything that I need for each program. So, for example, Oregon Wise Guys, I have to make sure that I have the students' workbooks for the first day. Make sure that I have my storybooks, Annie there. Any snacks that may be used with the lesson, which is not often with Oregon Wise. If I'm doing an adult program and I'm doing a food demo, I have to make sure I have all of the food that I need, along with the utensils, bowls, griddles, anything that I need to cook with. I have to make sure that I have all of those things. And I have to make sure that I take account of how many people I see at each program. And that's by sex and by race or ethnicity. Some of the advantages I would say are maybe getting out in the community, getting to know different people, making a difference in people's lives, because some people do make changes based on what we teach them. Disadvantages, I would say, is the fact that the work is very tedious. There's just a lot of background work that needs to be done. If you miss one thing in the background, it will throw off your whole program. And then also the driving. There's a lot of driving. And sometimes, even though we get paid mileage, sometimes it doesn't come in time, which can impact us negatively when it comes to having to keep your car maintained and buying gas and everything so that you can keep driving to these programs. It's pretty much just me, or like if I'm working with another person, it's usually another staff member. So there's not really anyone that's outside of extension that's working with me in SNAP Ed. Yeah, it could probably benefit us, but it could also be a catch-22 because, they may not know, they don't know what we know. And so to have to stop and train them to do what we need for them to do, just can probably take more time than we already probably don't have. I would say just go for it. Just constantly look at job boards to see who's hiring for community workers, and just apply for them. Most community worker jobs don't require degrees, but if you have a degree, it is still a great step to get that experience that a lot of jobs are requiring. So, yeah, I would just say just put your foot out there and see what happens. Well, when I did my internship for undergrad, I interned at the health department in Will County. So there are different things, and like I said, my degree is in community health. I went to Governor State, and so it's actually a bachelor's of health science in community health. and I'm currently going to school for my master's in health education. Kind of like public health, just more along on the teaching side. So there's different internships the health departments, clinics, community-based organizations. Just pretty much depend on what you want to do in community health or in the community. That'll depend on which internship you go for.